Hey y'all, and welcome to the new releases for the week of May 22nd. We have some fantasy, some sci-fi. Yes, excited for a few of these. Can't wait. As usual though, there will be timestamps to let you know the different genres and you can just click around to the ones you're more interested in. I do hope you find something exciting that you want to pick up this week or just new information, things that sound interesting to add to a TBR pile. Hope you enjoy it. We'll be starting off with sci-fi again this week with Megan O'Caffey's The Blighted Stars. This one is going to be a new space opera trilogy. She's a revolutionary. Humanity is running out of options. Habitable planets are being destroyed as quickly as they're found, and Nira Sharp thinks she knows the reason why. The all-powerful Mercator family has been controlling the exploration of the universe for decades and exploiting any materials they find along the way under the guise of helping humanity's expansion. But Nara knows the truth, and she plans to bring the whole family down from the inside. He's the heir to the dynasty. Tarquin Mercator never wanted to run a galaxy-spanning business empire. He just wanted to study rocks and read books. But Tarquin's father has tasked him with monitoring the settlement of a new planet, and he doesn't really have a choice in the matter. Disguised as Tarquin's new bodyguard, Narya plans to destroy the settlement ship before they make land, but neither of them expects to end up stranded on a dead planet. To survive and keep her secret, Narya will have to join forces with the man she's sworn to hate, and together they will uncover a plot that's bigger than the both of them. So, yeah, there's just a lot that sounds like it could be cool there. Just a lot. Okay, our next one is a sci-fantasy. It's got like elements of both. It's called The 13th Month by Elizabeth Hunter. There are rules for traveling. A mage must never go forward, keep the secrets of the order at all the times, and never, ever travel during the 13th month. Born into a powerful mage family, Noreen Ahaned Korin is a time traveler whose life is constantly in flux. Since committing to the Order of the Siba Sagal at 14, she spent her life traveling through history, trying to make a difference and sacrificing her life in the present for one jumping through the past. But while the world in 2071 has moved forward, the ancient order of Saba Sagal have become even more archaic. The secret sect, founded by an astronomer priest, has passed its magic to thousands of generations, perfecting the secrets of divination and time travel, while also amassing power, influence, and riches. Change is on the horizon, and some in the order would do anything to stop it from coming. When one of the highest laws of mage travel is broken in the 13th month, Noreen and her friends and one unsuspecting professor will have to scour history to set the timeline right. So this is going to be a series, and it's time travel fantasy, obviously. It's just, I feel it's a sci-fantasy. I think it even classified itself as sci-fantasy because of some of the aspects mentioned throughout it. Then on to more traditional fantasy, we have The Battle Drum by Sarah L. Urifi. This is the sequel to The Final Strife that came out a year or so ago. And this is going to be a trilogy overall. The description for the first book is: red is the blood of the elite of magic of control. Blue is the blood of the poor, of workers, of the resistance. Clear is the blood of slaves, of the crushed, of the invisible. Saya dreams of days growing up in the resistance, being told she would spark a revolution that would free the empire from the red-blooded ruling class's tyranny. That spark was extinguished the day she watched her family murdered before her eyes. Honora has been told she's nothing, no one, a disappointment by the only person who matters, her mother, the most powerful ruler in the empire. But when Sila and Honora meet, a fire burns between them that could consume the kingdom and their hearts. Hassa moves through the world unseen by upper class, so she knows what it means to be invisible. But invisibility has its uses. It can hide the most dangerous secrets that can reignite a revolution. And when she joins forces with Sala and Honora, together these grains of sand will become a storm. As the empire begins a set of trials of combat and skill designed to find its new leader, the stage is set for blood to flow, power to shift, and cities to burn. So the whole the whole trilogy is going to be the Ending Fire trilogy, which is a very cool name, I must say. Now we'll move forward into a YA fantasy, which is Of Light and Shadow by Trans Bethina. When they don't give us our birthright, we steal it. Rasha Kaya is out for justice, abandoned by her parents at birth and adopted by the kingdom of Dwala's most notorious outlaw before his brutal murder. She is now the leader of the Shadow Clan, a gang of farmers turned bandits, impoverished by the provincial governor's atrocities and corruption. Rashan's goal: avenge her adoptive father and earn back rights and dignity for her people. Prince Navin has always felt like an outcast. Second in line for the throne, he has never been close to his grandmother, Queen Fahavri of Jwala. When a night out drinking with friends leads to his capture by the infamous Shadow Clan, Navan schemes to befriend Rashawn and use her as a means to escape. His ploy, however, brings Navan closer to the corruption and poverty at the heart of Rashawn's province, raising questions about its governor and Navan's own family. To further complicate things, the closer Rashawn and Navan get, the harder it becomes to fight their growing attraction. But how can they trust each other when the world as they know it starts to fall apart? Set in a magical world inspired by the Badlands of 17th century India, this standalone epic fantasy novel is packed with political tensions, dangerous schemes, and swoon-worthy romance that asks the age-old question, can love conquer all? So, it seems like it's going to be an interesting, and it's a standalone, which is most unusual. Another YA is going to be Forever Is Now by Mariama J. Lockington. I'm sorry that me and names don't work. Okay, this one is going to be a bit different because it says a lyrical young adult novel in verse. I'm safe here. That's how Sadie feels on a perfect summer day wrapped in her girlfriend's arms. School is out, and even though she's been struggling to manage her chronic anxiety, Sadie is hopeful better times are ahead, or at least she thought she was safe. When her girlfriend reveals some unexpected news and the two witness a violent incident of police brutality unfold before them, Sadie's whole world is upended in an instant. I'm not safe anywhere. That's how Sadie feels every day after, vulnerable, uprooted. She retreats inside as the weeks slip by and relies on her phone to stay connected to the outside world. When Sadie's therapist gives her a diagnosis for her debilitating panic agoraphobia, she starts on a path of acceptance and healing. Meanwhile, Sadie's best friend, Evan, updates her on the protests taking place in their city. Sadie wants to be a part of it, to use her voice and affect change. But how do you show up for your community when you can't even leave your house? I can build a safe place inside myself. That's what Sadie learns over the course of one life-changing summer, with some help from her family, her best friend, an online platform for activists, and a magnetic crush she develops for the new boy next door. Next is a fiction fantasy. I don't know what it should be classified under. I think at one point I did say it was a fantasy, but I think it is just under fiction. It's a something. This is Perilous Times by Thomas D. Lee. Goodness, I could talk about it, but yet I feel like I'd miss the mark and say stuff I shouldn't. Legends don't always live up to reality. Being reborn as an immortal defender of the realm gets awfully tiring over the years, or at least that's what Sir Kay thinks as he claws his way up from beneath the earth yet again. Kay once rode alongside his brother, King Arthur, as a knight of the Round Table. Since then, he has fought at Hastings and Waterloo in both world wars, and now he finds himself in a strange new world where oceans have risen, the army's been privatized, and half of Britain sold to the foreign powers. The dragon that's running amok, that he can handle. The rest, he's not so sure. Miriam's spent her life fighting what's wrong with her country, but she's just an ordinary person up against a hopelessly broken system. So when she meets Kay, she dares to hope the world has finally found the savior it needs. Yet as the two travel through this bizarre and dangerous land, they discover that the magical plot of apocalyptic proportions is underway, and Kay's too busy hunting dragons and exchanging blows with his old enemy Lancelot to figure out what to do about it. In perilous times like these, the realm doesn't just need a knight, it needs a true leader. Luckily, Excalibur lies within reach, but who will be fit to wield it? It talked about interesting concepts. It talked about interesting concepts, but it was very heavy on the climate change and politics like that, and also it lacked logic in some aspects. Other reviewers also said that they found humor in it. They thought it was humorous. No, I did not see the funny very much, even trying to look for dry humor. There was some lines, sure. But you can go check it out for yourself. I feel that the main characters were pretty okay. They were interesting in their own rights, and they were pretty okay. Next, though, let's move into a mystery crime western thriller. Yes, it had all of those tags. Sing Her Down by Ivy Pochada. Florence Florida Baum, is not the hapless innocent she claims to be when she arrives in the Arizona women's prison, or so her ex-cellmate, Desiree Scandovia, keeps insinuating. Dios knows the truth about Florida's crimes, understands the truth that Florence hides even from herself, that she wasn't a victim of circumstance, an unlucky bystander misled by a bad man. Dios knows that darkness lives in women too, despite the world's refusal to see it, and she is determined to open Florida's eyes and unleash her true self. When an unexpected reprieve gives both women their freedom, Dios' fixation on Florida turns into a dangerous obsession, and a deadly cat-and-mouse chase ensues from Arizona to the desolate streets of Los Angeles. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be a Western yet, but okay. From there, we go into romantic suspense with Identity by Nora Roberts. Former Army brat Morgan Albright has finally planted roots in a friendly neighborhood near Baltimore. Her friend and roommate Nina helps her make the mortgage payments, as does Morgan's job as a bartender. But after she and Nina host their first dinner party, attended by Luke, the flirtatious IT guy who's been chatting her up at the bar, her carefully built world is shattered. The back door glass is broken, cash and jewelry are missing, her car is gone, and Nina lies dead on the floor. Holy crap. Soon, a horrific truth emerges. It was Morgan who let the monster in. Luke is actually a cold-hearted con artist named Gavin, who targets a particular type of woman, steals her assets and identity, and then commits his ultimate goal, murder. I feel like that should not have been in the description. What the FBI tells Morgan is beyond chilling. Nina wasn't his type. Morgan is. Nina is simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Morgan's nightmare is just beginning. Soon, she has no choice but to flee to her mother's home in Vermont. While she struggles to build something new, she meets another man, Miles Jamison. He isn't flashy or flirtatious, and his family business has deep roots in town. But Gavin is still out there hunting new victims, and he hasn't forgotten the one who got away. And our last one is a romantic comedy called Wild Things by Laura Kay. Elle is in a rut. She's been hiding in the photocopier room at the same dead-end job for longer than she cares to remember. She's sharing a flat with a girl who leaves passive-aggressive smiley face notes on the fridge about milk consumption, and, worst of all, she's been in unrequited love with her best friend, effortlessly cool lesbian Ray, for years. So when a plan is hatched for Elle, Ray, and their two other closest friends, newly heartbroken Will and karaoke Twilight superfan Jamie, to ditch the big city and move out to a ramshackle house on the edge of the English country village, it feels like just the escape she needs. Despite being a DIY challenge of a lifetime, the newly named Lavender House has all the makings of becoming the queer commune the friends dream. Will has been given the pass as the gang's token straight, but as they start plotting their bright new future and making preparations for a grand housewarming party to thank the just surprisingly but wonderfully welcoming community, Elle is forced to confront her feelings for Ray, the feeling she's been desperately trying to keep buried. Is it worth ruining a perfectly good friendship for a chance at love? It sounds like a good summer book, and it's almost summer, so it works. That's all for this week. Maybe you found a new one that sounds exciting, funny, that you want to pick up, add to a list. Either or, kitty. If you haven't yet, feel free to check out my review for The Ferryman. It was an excellent book. I do highly recommend it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't and you're enjoying my content. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're finding something awesome to read today, and we'll come back for future videos. Bye, y'all.